Hi, everybody. My name is Pranithia. Sorry, I was looking at my light, making sure everything was fine. But hi, everyone. My name is Pranithia. This is my first video on my channel, Anonymous Conversations. And I'm here today to talk about a topic that has been very prevalent to my experiences in this season of my life. And just for, I guess, to give you a little background, um, I'm currently a teacher, an online virtual teacher, who has an interest in psychology and emotional stability and healing. My whole goal with this channel is to promote conversations that are tough to talk about. So, if that is you, if that's something that you're looking for, then you will enjoy being a part of this channel. I suggest you subscribe. Forgive me for the lighting and how this video is being presented, but I've been wanting to say this for so long and talk about this topic for so long that I just was like, I have to do it. So don't worry, future videos, maybe not the second or third video, but future videos will look much better. I'll look much better, but I really had to get this word out today, so just bear with me. Today's topic is called Unlearning is Healing. Unlearning is healing. And when you think about the topic of unlearning, it's very, very popular today. And so is the idea of healing. And I'm talking about this from a perspective of self. So there are things in our lives that we tend to listen to and adhere our lives to because they are things that our parents have taught us. They are things that our school system has taught us. There are lessons that we've even learned in our lives based on just our own experiences. And I'm talking birth to however we are, however old you are now. And those experiences, what lies beneath them are things that, of course, we've learned over time. Now, does that make everything that we've learned right? No. And does that make everything that we've learned acceptable to the person we're trying to become? No. In my life, I have learned over time that the experiences that I have encountered, the decisions that I have made, and the people that have influenced I've been a part are affected by those choices. A lot of them I have had to unlearn in this season. Not everything was good. Not everything was necessary for me to bring into my next season. So I have taken some time to reflect on the person that I am and the person that I want to be. I've taken some time to consider the people that I have hurt in the process based on words I've said or actions that I've committed to. Um, and a lot of that has led me to asking for forgiveness, which, of course, I said unlearning is healing. Forgiveness is one way to heal. And there's a theory, forgive and forget. No, you may not ever forget it. And I definitely don't forget when I've hurt people, but I do ask for forgiveness and I do apologize and I forgive myself. And that's where the healing starts. So if you are that person that has hurt someone or hurt a lot of people or hurt yourself, forgiving yourself is the first part. And so unlearning means not holding things in, but letting them out and releasing them. Unlearning would be, if your parents taught you to fight, fight for everything, fight people physically, fight people mentally, be ahead, be this, be that, you're taught to fight for a lot of things. Unlearning that so that you can propel to the next level. You want to manifest this new life for yourself. If you're religious, you want God to move in your life. And in order to see those things come to pass, it requires a lot of unlearning. It will require a lot of healing. And the best place to receive that healing is from God. And you start inwardly with yourself. And then you work your way to, therapists and psychologists and psychiatrists if you need it. I myself have been seeing a therapist for the past several years, and I never looked at therapy as bad. And I know some people do, but therapy is not a place where you go to be talked down to. You go there to be heard and listened to, and over time you've been uplifted because you're going to start facing different things, the skeletons in the closet, those hidden emotions, those traumatic experiences that have affected who you are today. You'll start to be able to do those things, and in the process of talking about those things, looking inward to those things, that healing occurs. So if you're able to unlearn the idea that therapy is for crazy people, psychiatrists are for crazy folks, if you're unlearning that, then you can begin the healing process of going get the help that you need. If you can figure out, that I can't do this by myself and I need to seek something higher, higher power, higher spirit being, you start to unlearn the idea that I need to fight for myself. I need to do this for myself. And you start to believe in something much greater than you, something that already knows your path. That is a form of healing. That is a way to be healed. If you start to use your resources that are in front of you, you may have a friend that you could talk to. You may have resources financially that you can go make more money, and that'll change your situation. You get to unlearn that being broke is my only option right now. You unlearn the idea of being broke. You relearn the idea of being wealthy. Wealthy does not always have to be associated with negative. People don't that's change money doesn't change people. People are already that way. Money just exemplifies what this person is already like. If they were already a bad person, having more money is going to make them even worse. If they were a great person, a giver, they supported their community financially with the little that they have. When they get blessed with much, they're going to do even more with that money. So money is not where the negativity lies. It's always within the person. And we as people naturally are inclined to multiply things when given to us, naturally. Now, if we do it, that's pretty much up to us. It's up to our settings, our surroundings, what we're capable of doing. But that money, having that in our hands, or that resource in our hands, 9 times out of 10, we want to multiply. We want to know, well, how can I get more? How can I get more? And if you're an American listening to this, our country is big on the more, the big, the better, the having, the getting, the receiving. And we help a lot too. And I'll speak on an individual basis. I do my best to help. I don't know about you, but I do. And this video right now is to help. So when you're thinking about the idea of unlearning a lot of things, you're unlearning things that trapped you in. You're unlearning things that hindered you. You're unlearning things that have stopped you from being the person that you desire to be. And if you have that person in mind, if you know who you want to be, if you are in a position to be your best self and you're ready to make that next step, then writing down things that have held you back is one of the best places to start. Writing down people that you want to forgive you, and people that you need to forgive. That would be a second step, in my opinion. And that third step is looking at that list and saying, well, how can I, matter of fact, assessing how you feel after you've done those two things will let you know where you need to seek help next. If it is something that requires therapy and psychology or a psych evaluation, does it take you to that next step? If you are seeking, based on what you've done, that forgiving process and the things that have bothered you and are bothering you, those traumatic experiences, if you find that those things are things you just don't feel like you could heal from on your own, you could deal with on your own, then yeah, the next step would be go and talk to a professional, a therapist, a counselor, a psychiatrist. They would be very, very helpful in those arenas. There are some experiences that are so traumatic that we would not be able to deal with them on our own. And there's also things that we want to unlearn, certain behaviors that we need to unlearn that we wouldn't be able to do without certain special help. And when you go there, these people are trained and are educated on ways to help you get to that healing place. We want to move up. We want to see success. We want to see change. We want to dive deeper into who we really are. And that requires healing. That requires unlearning. And unlearning is healing. When you are taking away things that don't benefit you with where you are going, you are healing. And then the healing, let's take it a step further. I didn't expect to go here, but that healing promotes healing for your entire lineage, for all the generations that come after you. So not only are you healing for yourself, you're changing the way maybe your mom treated you as a child and as a young adult, and maybe even as an adult still. But you're telling yourself, when I become a mom or when I become a dad, I do not want to treat my children this way. I want to see them be their best selves. And as a child, I didn't feel like my best self with the way my mom and my dad treated me or the behaviors that I saw. I didn't feel like my best self. I want my children to feel like they are the best. I want my children to know that I'm here for them, that I care for them, that I love them. I didn't know that as a child. I didn't have the support that I desired as a young child or as a young adult or as a teen. I was just going through things on my own, figuring them out by myself. And when I would ask or seek my parents, specifically parents, for this advice, they were unable to help me. They didn't know what to tell me. They didn't know what to do. They didn't know which direction to point me in. So I was by myself. If that is you, you can unlearn that and you can make up your mind to treat your children differently. And I'm just talking specifically to that situation. But there are so many others. When it comes to being confident, you're going to identify, well, what is keeping me from being confident in myself? Do I stutter when I talk? Do I have shifty eyes? Is this because I'm nervous all the time? Do I have anxiety? Did somebody do something to me and now I'm fearful of women, or I'm fearful of men, or I'm fearful of children or pets, or and whatever it is, like when you start to identify that. I can't speak in front of people. Well, what do you need to do to be able to do that? I can't speak in front of people today, but what do I need to do to change my ability to speak in front of others? Maybe I need to take a course. Maybe I need to just stand in front of the mirror and practice talking to myself and into my camera, and nobody will see it. Practicing. I'm going to tell you a short story about myself. I can sing. I've always been able to sing. I became fearful of singing and more or less shy. I'm not going to say fearful. Fearful of comments and rejection, people not liking my voice. And then I was also just shy, naturally shy. But it kind of came as a result of realizing that people were watching me. When I was a kid, my mom would tell me the story that I was in kindergarten. This little girl didn't know her lines, and we're doing like a school play. She didn't know her lines, and I took the mic from her and I said her lines. Yeah, that was confidence that I had and didn't care. And I'm like, the job must get done. And as I got older, I participated in the plays. I performed. I was in this zebra costume for a school Christmas play, and the holes were tiny, small. I couldn't see out of them. I was like, oh my God, I can't see, but I got to wear this zebra costume for this play. I got to do my part and do it right. And I did it. And I was actually the relief for another girl. She didn't make it to the performance, and I had to do her part and say her lines, her understudy. So yeah, I didn't have a problem with being on stage, but that was just saying lines and performing. But when it came to singing, oh my God, I was shy, y'all. My first time I sung for family, I stood behind a wall because I was so shy. But I did so well. I still remember standing behind that wall. I still remember singing. And now, guys, I have found the gutso to sing again. So I'm on Instagram. I'm singing. I'm on is it TikTok? I think I do TikToks, and I'm singing on TikTok, and I'm enjoying it. And that's my start where like I don't have to worry about people too close to me hearing me and commenting on me. I can just like sing to the masses. They can judge me, but I don't really care. And I'm getting to a place where I just don't care. So but that's me. That's me unlearning shy. That's me unlearning lack of confidence. That's me unlearning what I thought about my voice and myself, and I'm healing. I'm healing. I'm giving myself the opportunity to move forward in a gift that God has given me. I'm sorry, I keep tapping my mic. But I'm unlearning that because I want to be a better person, and I want to be the best me. So if me comes with a beautiful singing voice, I'm going to use it. And I find that when we step into a place where we are sick and tired of being sick and tired of dogging ourselves, people mistreating us, things not going our way. That is when we make that change. That is when we decide to unlearn. That is when we decide that we want to be healed. That is when we decide that we want to be our best self. I hate the fact that sometimes we have to wait till we're hit over the head 1,000 times to change. I hate the fact that somebody has to hurt us 1,000 times before we realize I don't deserve this. I hate the fact that we submit ourselves to poor financial management or poor educational management. We don't make wise choices initially until something big happens. And I'm sharing this video because it should not be that way. I'm encouraging you to take advantage of the resources in front of you, to take advantage of those people when they give you that advice and you're like, I don't want to hear that right now. I'm my own person. I'm grown. I can make my own decisions. We are grown. We can make our own decisions. But there are people that have had experiences that have taken them places that we want to go. And if we listen to them, we probably can get there too. There's cliche phrases surrounded by that, like if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Follow it then. One of my biggest, well, actually two, or I have a lot of them, but my role models that are like in the entertainment industry would be Oprah Winfrey, Steve Harvey. And right now, I'm into Kiki Palmer. She's doing great, coming into her womanly vibe. And there's a few others that I just keep my eye on. Anthony O'Neill, he's moving into, with the financial aspect. Patrice Washington. I love watching them on Instagram and on YouTube, and following them on their podcast, and just seeing where they are going in their lives and the direction that they're moving in. And then my own personal life, I have a lot of people that are entrepreneurs that are in my world, but all of them took time to unlearn things and stigmas and just culture specific things that people put on them, and shifted gears to heal themselves from it and then propel. And once they learned information, they propelled. And once somebody told them something new, they propelled. They took it, they ran with it, they used it. And I'm about to be right behind these trailblazers with the hopes of someday either meeting them and working side by side with them, passing them up and knowing that they're cheering me on. And while I'm cheering them on right now in the process, and cheering them on as they propel. Like, the whole idea is to see everyone that desires to be whole, desires healing, desires to learn something new for themselves and for their lineage, like, help them get there. And I'm gonna go back to this lineage thing. Think about it. Think about the decisions that you make today. So today you decide, I'm just gonna blow my money. I got $5,000. I'm gonna blow it all. You blow it all. And when I say blow it, you can blow it on good things too. You can help people with this money before you help yourself. You can go and get into stocks and trades and Bitcoin and all those things out there. You can invest in somebody's business. Like, you can do it, but that's still a form, in my opinion, of blowing it all. Because if you didn't do the required research to invest in certain things, if you didn't do the research to see if this person was like, they're going to do something with this amount of money you're about to give them, like, you can help people and you're helping them before you help yourself. You need your light bill paid, but yet you're going to give somebody else $100. Like, you can easily blow 5 grand. So then you blow it. And then you get in that habit of giving and sowing and blowing money, and you're not really seeing anything in return from it. It's not very good decisions you're making with it. Um, that can become something, a habit can eventually become something that's a part of you, and eventually becomes such a part of you for so long as a habit. It sticks with you. It's in your genetic coding. I'm sorry, I'm talking so quickly, but it becomes a part of your genetic coding, and then it affects your lineage. So now your children are born, your grandchildren are born, and they don't know why they want to spend money in the way that they do. And I deal with this. I know it's genetic, because although I watched my family, they had money, they were well off, but they spent. I I noticed I would have a tendency to want to do the same thing, and I've come across not large amounts of money, but amounts of money that if I were given the knowledge or saw something differently, I would have made better choices with it when I got it. One of those would be student loans. I would have gotten more scholarships. I would have applied for more scholarships. I would have paid out of pocket. I was working. I would have paid out of pocket to go to school if I known today it would help me save all debt, having all this debt. So I'm just trying to change the pattern. So I'm telling my kids, I'm telling other people's kids, I'm telling these future graduates, I'm like, y'all can go to school without getting into debt. My own sister, she's finishing up her bachelor's degree, and now she wants to continue her education in different aspects of life. And she's like, how can I do this? Should I do this, and this, so I don't have to incur more debt? I'm like, yeah, that is the best decision, and focus on this and pay this. And thankfully she only has two debts: school and a car, and it's very, very low. And I'm just like, keep it that way, keep that number low, because I feel like you can work and pay your way through school. And if there's always the I don't know what they call them now, but they'll pay you like an internship kind of thing, like the work pay system with school. That's an option for some of us. And there are, just you working at your job sometimes your employer might help you pay for school. If you join the military, they'll help you go to school. Like, just use your resources. See what's out there for you. And if one door closes, just say that door wasn't for me and go through another one. Even with this healing process, you can meet, you can go to therapists. Like, I've been to tons. I probably at the least had maybe 6 different therapists. And because from season to season, I just needed something different. One counselor or therapist, she got so comfortable with me. She was telling me about her life. I was more listening to her life than she was to mine. I was like, oh, sweet lady, but I need the help, and if you do, book yourself or book your counselor. So yeah, sometimes you gotta bounce around. That first person might not be for you, neither the second or the third. So, and there's also things you gotta unlearn when you're in relationships with people. And I just love ones. It could be a workplace, it could be a friendship. This friendship is not where I am right now in this season. I need something more. Like, I thrive on friendships where people have an excellent vocabulary, where they speak with wisdom and they're talking about the things of God. Like, I thrive on friendships with that. And if I don't feel that in a friendship, I notice God just allows me to talk to them sparingly. And then when we do come back and talk, the conversation may be specific, but it won't be fruitful. So we'll only talk every once in a while. Then I have those friends who I can talk to, and we haven't talked for like a couple of weeks. But when we get on the phone, we're talking for hours. I have those friends. And then I have other friends where, you know, we don't have to see each other for years, but when we talk, we're talking forever. Like, we just saw each other yesterday. I love those types of friendships too, because we're just aware of each other's time and the busyness. But I will say, unlearn busyness, because you don't want precious time, to pass you by. You don't want to wake up and you hadn't spent time with your family. Wake up and you hadn't spent time taking care of yourself. Wake up and you hadn't reached out to those people and those friends and family members, and they're now long gone. Like, you don't want to wake up and find that that's you. So unlearn this busyness, because sometimes it can be a distraction from things that are more important. Lo and behold, you can be in some relationships with people that you love and they really just want your time. I heard Anthony O'Neill say sometimes people don't want your presence, they want your presence. And something like that. They don't want what you can give them. Here's a gift, or here's this, here's that. And and you're not there. You give because you can't be there. The making that time for them to be present in your lives is huge. Making that time to be present in their lives is huge. It changes things. And he didn't really go into what I thought he would go into, Anthony O'Neill, when he said that, but he was referring to how the wealthy people were telling him that they'd rather have spent more time with their families and regret it. And the time, and somebody was like, well, how can you make money if you're spending time with your family? And I thought about it, and I was like, well, you're making that money in order to provide for them. And the provisions that they might need only add up to so much. So technically, once you hit that point where this is all my family needs. If it's $4,000 a month, then once I hit that $4,000 a month, I can devote my time to them. And how I get that $4,000 a month, that's on me. If it's working several jobs, to remain flexible for my family, or if it's working one job but it has these hours that work for me, because once you get a family, it is no longer about you. And if you are single, then yeah, you want to work that single season. Like he said, maximize that single season, because you want to make your time and use your time wisely. So when you do have a family, you do have children, or you want to go with your family somewhere, if you don't have like an immediate wife, kids, husband, um, you're able to do things with them, because now you've sown and spent so much time sowing into your single season, that now you can reap the harvest of being with a family and actually being able to be there for them. And then lo and behold, the time that you spend, you're able to ignite something in them. You ignite something in your wife, you ignite something in your husband, you find out the passions of your children, and now you can sow into them and help them grow. And you can sit back because now you're reaping the benefits of your harvest. Like, wow, now I'm a millionaire, I'm a billionaire, I'm a trillionaire. Now I can provide these things for my children, give them access to things they don't have to start over. And now I could just watch them soar because I gave them platforms to start on. I gave them a car. I gave them a house. I gave them a savings account. I gave them an account for their 529 plan that has their education paid for. Now I'm building these things for them and they can just be like 5, 6, 7, 8 paces ahead. I gave them a wholesome upbringing. And wholesome does not always have to be mom and dad are both in the house. If mom and dad can be in separate homes because they're divorced or separated, they can be in separate homes but still are providing wholesomeness in each of those homes. The statistics of those children propelling maximizes. If mom is able to provide a house, a car, a 529 account for both the children, and dad is over here providing a car, a house, a 529 plan, and look at that. These kids got it on both sides. In my opinion, that maximizes opportunity for our children. If both parents, although separated, can come together and say, let's do this, this, and this for our children, because it's still our children. If both parents can be level headed, come together enough to talk about that, you can maximize. That means unlearning, once again, unlearning the stigma that is surrounding relationships, unlearning the idea that as a single parent I can't make it, unlearning as a single parent I can't get past being on government assistance, unlearning I can only work this one job, I got to stick it out. No, it might be that you have a gift in your hands that you can use to propel you. Unlearning means that, oh, I don't have to follow the status quo of starting from scratch because of my divorce. If two people can be level headed during a divorce and say, well, I see that you need this, let me help you with that. And I see that you need this, I can help you with that. If they can still remain friends or still remain level headed, still show support, that works wonders when it comes to your lineage. That changes the genetic coding, that emotional coding that happens on your lineage. That changes who the people that are present right now that are watching you, and how you handle this. That changes things for them. So I encourage you to spend time like unlearning and getting into that healing and changing things for yourself and the way you see yourself and the way people tell you things have to go. They don't have to be that way. I promise you. Look at where we are today compared to where we were. We had black and white TV. And somebody was like, we can't have color television. That would never happen. And somebody said, no, I'm going to take this marker. I'm going to color on this screen board here. And I'm going to put it on the camera. And boom, first sets of color on TV. By hand, painting, hand markers, hand crayon to give us color on TV. And now look where we are today. You can talk to your little box, Alexa, and Google box and tell them, hey, turn on the TV. Hey, close my blinds. Turn on the lights. Turn on my AC. Turn on my heat. Like you can talk, you can turn on your car and not go crank it. Like, look where we are today. And it's improving every day. So we unlearn certain behaviors and certain mechanisms that try to keep us in a box and stigmatize us. And while tangent, before I go, I'm giving myself 30 minutes. I'm at 27 minutes and 52 seconds. Unlearn that 9 to 5. Unlearn that 9 to 5. And it can vary whatever your hours are where you're working, these companies. If you are working a 9 to 5, you enjoy it, keep at it, but make sure that you're doing something that is catering to your gift outside that 9 to 5. Because that's something that you're catering to outside, that gift that you have, that is your propel. That is your means to increase. That is your means to healing. Gardening started as my healing. It started as my time with my grandfather, my time I've been able to give with my children. It started off as just time and a hobby, and it turned into something that is propelled into a business. It's still a small business right now, but I don't call it a small business because I know it's going to grow into something big. So I took that, I'm taking that time into it. And I have my job it's not a 9 to 5, it's still a flexible one because my goal is to always be there for my children and my family and to be able to take my jobs anywhere and do my thing anywhere. So I've created that for myself. And my job always sought God and like, God, I want this one job that will provide regular financial support, and then everything else I could do around it. But he said no. He's revealed to me that I'm going to always have these smaller things surrounding me because it's going to free me to do more for his kingdom. So unlearning equals healing. Free yourself up to do more for Christ and be your best self for your lineage. That's all I got, y'all. I'll be back next time. I don't know when. I just had to get this word out there. I don't know when. But I love you guys, and I want you to just find a way. Heal yourselves. Heal yourselves. It starts with you. It starts with a higher being and loving yourself every day. Peace, y'all.